Sadly, where I come from, life is not very peaceful. I never knew my dad. I lost my dad when I was very young due to HIV and AIDS. After my dad died, relatives took everything valuable my dad had left behind. My mom was left with nothing but household items. She sold some of those items to raise capital to start up a business to take care of us. Later on, she was able to take me to a local church that connected me to American sponsors that were able to pay my school tuition. Sadly, she did not live long after that. When I was about 11, we lost her too due to HIV and AIDS. That was a very tough time for me. Now I had an aunt who knew that I had American sponsors who could give me gifts in form of money. So she decided to stay with me so I could get all my gift money, give it to her. She could spend it all on alcohol. She could get drunk, come back home, and beat me so bad. I could ask myself why. My whole body could get bruised, and sometimes she could lock me out to stay on the streets. Now there was a good Samaritan who really wanted to stay with me, but my aunt could not let me. But the house that we used to stay in with our aunt was not very stable. So I used to pray to God to bring that house down, because that was my only way out of that misery. And surely one day God sent the rain, and one of the walls collapsed. And it brought a lot of joy in my heart. I knew that maybe it was not a very good prayer, but I could not see. Honestly speaking, yeah, maybe it was a witchcraft prayer, but I could not see. I could not see any other way out of that misery. So I got my bag, packed it with clothes, and I went straight to the Good Samaritan's house. And when he saw me, he told me, "Eddie, where I have a roof, you have one." This guy lived in a single room. He was not very rich, but he had a very big heart. And one of the things that I learned from him is that you don't need much to make a difference in someone's life. Later on, my local church constructed an orphanage, and I was taken to stay in that orphanage. While at the orphanage, I got the opportunity to meet Embrace Uganda, who are one of the major sponsors from the United States. They helped us with medication, providing clean water to communities, and an education. I was able to continue with school, and I graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Quantitative Economics from Uganda. I began working, and I started supporting my two sisters and nieces and my other family relatives, because in my family, I'm the only one who has studied this far. Later on, I got an opportunity to do an MBA at George Mason University. Unfortunately, my sponsors failed to pay tuition. So I reached out to the founders of Embrace Uganda, Mrs. Page, who contacted Mrs. Billy, and they are able to transfer me to WECTEC. Now, at WECTEC, I've received several scholarships, and these scholarships mean that Embrace Uganda no longer have to worry about paying my tuition. The money they would have spent on me is being used to help my other brothers and sisters who are in Uganda, who are in need. I'm hoping to use the education here and some of the work experience to go back home, start up jobs, and share some of the skills that I've learned from here. The reason I'm sharing my story with you today is to say thank you for the sacrifice that you make for people like me to have an education. You give us a gift that no one will ever take away from us. A gift that does not only help me, but is also helping my family and so many other people that are around me. When I had no hope, when I had nothing, no parents, and no way out, I still had faith. So I say to you, Mukama abawe omukisa, which in my language means God bless you. So please join me in sharing this blessing with your neighbor. Please say after me, Mukama abawe omukisa. Good job.
And Eddie, so goes the story, right? Peace is not what you have, it's what you make of the situation. It's great to have Sloan Heffernan out in our audience. I see out there, the one who did the story on you. It's so good. Peace is part of the process. It is the goals that we set for ourselves, right? Goals to change our future, to change our community, goals to change your story.
Amen.
Just like you did.
That's right.
Wonderful story of faith and persistence and dedication and triumph in the end. We are so proud of you.
Glory to God.